Hello, audience, and welcome to the Dragon's Maze pack opening. The Dragon's Maze itself has some multicoloured cards in it because it's like bringing Ravnica and Game Crasher together. So here goes. Let's get this thing opened. And here we are. So 15 more cards for us from Magic from my local. First one being the Boros Cluestone. Now then, I think they're about 10 in Dragon's Maze, so that is pretty good right there. It's all of them cost 3 mana, and all of them have a different ability to bring in different land, but that's the gist of them. This is the Boros Cluestone, so once tapped, you can bring in a mountain or plain. Pretty self-explanatory. The next one is the blue magic called Runner's Bane, and it's a fairly low summoning monster. It's only blue, but it's an enchantment for creature. Enchant creature with power 3 or less. The enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step, and when Runner's Bane enters the battlefield, enchanted creature. So if you've got a wall of enchanted creatures to get through, this is really handy for that. Next card is the Unleashed Radkos Drake. That's 3 mana. It's got flying, and which when you unleash it, you can put a 1/1 counter on it. Some of my best matches have been with this card, and I unleash it straight away, so it goes up to a 2/3 flyer. That's enough said. It does well against other flyers and walls, low walls especially. Right, my next card is multicoloured, called Viashino First Blade. It's a creature soldier, has haste, so it doesn't come in sick. And when this card enters the battlefield, it gains +2 until end of turn. Very handy if you're using a strike deck. Okay, that is called Mind Static from blue. Costs 4 to cast. Instant. You can counter target spell unless its controller pays 6 mana. Pretty nasty card to play, but if played correctly, could pay dividends. Sticking with a blue theme, Murmuring Phantom card, and it's a spirit card as well, which is also interesting. Its also cost value is 2, 1 island, 1 other mana. It's a defender, so it can't attack. Remember, defenders can't attack. It's got a... And let's move on to the next card. It's another Cluestone, the Gruul Cluestone. known as Boros. Well, this belongs to the Gruul clan, and once tapped, add a mountain or mana pool. Very helpful if you're running something like a satire deck from Theros, which I'll be here we've got the Maze Sentinel card. It's got vigilance, so that means that once it's attacked, it doesn't come back tapped. It's like Griffin Sentinel from the M14 deck. Also vigilance. Multicolored creatures from Maze Sentinel you control also have vigilance when it enters. I don't know what colours mean, but if you could help me, that would help a lot. And next along is another Pilfered Plans. This is a sorcery, so you can play it in your turn only. Target player puts the top 2 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. Draw 2 cards. So that particular card is good for a mill deck, and so like if your Planeswalker's halfway down your deck and you want to draw him or her out, it's probably a good card to have. And this card that I'm coming in here is Radkos Clue. Surreal to get 3 clue stones in 1 packet. But you tap this, add 1 swamp or mountain. And they all have this sacrifice rule that if you tap, in this case, a swamp, a mountain, and then tap the clue, you can sacrifice it to draw a card. That can be 2 clue stones as well, that you saw earlier. Moving along into the silvers, we've got more of the Obsidiate. It's one with 5 mana to bring out. It's a creature. Its effect is sacrifice a creature. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. So that's sort of alright, but used incorrectly can be a waste of time. Same can be said for this next multicolored card, Gleam of Battle, which is an enchantment. So whenever a creature you control attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Now for counters, you could use dice, you could use coins, bits of paper, counter tokens, etc. And this is a really interesting card that I've pulled here. Goblin Test Pilot. It's another multicolour one of 1 in the grey circle there, an island and a mountain. It's a creature with flying, and if you tap it, Goblin Test Pilot deals 2 damage to target creature or player chosen at random. I wonder who that could be. But that is good for tournaments, especially Double-Headed Giant. And that concludes the silvers. These are the rares. Sire of Insanity, I think, is the penultimate card. So this is the best one in my pack opening. It's a demon creature. At the beginning of each end step, each player discards his or her hand. So it's a good creature to have in a mill deck or a burn deck. And look at those stats, 6/4 if it chooses to attack. And the last card is Selesnya Guildgate. And this will help you on the forum for Wargame Supplies. The 10 guilds. This is Selesnya Green White. Enters the battlefield tapped. You can tap it thereafter to add a forest or plain to the mana pool, and it can be treated as a forest or plain also. And I must say thank you to my local shop for supplying this, and hopefully I will see you again soon for a Theros pack opening very soon. Thank you, good luck in your games, and goodbye from me, goodbye.